Let's take a look at Marvel Champions Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I brought home today. Very excited about this new expansion. So if you're familiar with campaign boxes, you know what to expect in these, but if you're not, you got two different heroes, fully playable. You do need the base set. This is an expansion, so you have to have the base set in order to play this, but you have everything else that you need. You've got your heroes to play, and these are fully playable decks pre-built for you, and then 5 different scenarios to face off against, as well as a campaign mode, which is going to shake things up a little bit as you play along. So it starts with your rulebook. And the rulebook walks you through the campaign, and it's going to have all the rules and instructions for each of these campaigns, but it's also going to have some story elements that relate to the campaign, and there's comic book panels for each of those. So we got 5 different packs here that we'll crack open and show you what's inside. There's also one brand new element, and I believe that this envelope is used for the new Hidden Trader mechanic. So let's start with the pre-built Maria Hill deck. We'll open that up. We'll look through these cards. Maria Hill is all based on S.H.I.E.L.D. supports. And we have some existing S.H.I.E.L.D. supports, but in this expansion, I know we're also going to get some additional S.H.I.E.L.D. supports that are 6 cost, but have some cool advantages. So I know a lot of her cards relate to S.H.I.E.L.D. supports. So there's an example of one of those 6 cost, the Iliad. Some cool new blue allies. And some interesting S.H.I.E.L.D. support cards as well. These are kind of the new exciting card type that we're getting in this expansion. Really interested to get some of these ships into some of these decks. Now, Maria Hill can play any aspect of these. She can play these from any aspect, which is her special ability, but obviously these could be put into any deck. I'm not sure how good they'll be because Maria Hill can keep loading up these counters in a way that I think most heroes cannot. But we'll have to see. This is a cool new thing. I think we're going to get a lot more unique energy cards moving forward, which we haven't seen in a while. We've only seen the original version. So she looks really interesting. Definitely shakes up gameplay in a cool way. So taking a look at Nick Fury, though. Nick Fury's got a suit upgrade that most of his impact effects are based on. And so depending on which form he's in, whether he's in stealth or assault form. So he's one of those form flippers, and a lot of his cards are going to interact with that. He's got a deck here that's based in yellow, and I think that his effects are going to be based on preparation cards, similar to what we saw with, or rather expanding on what we saw with Black Widow. So awesome to get some more preparation cards, and definitely something that we were expecting to get from him. And it's going to make us want to certainly want to revisit characters like Black Widow to see what we can do with some of these new cards. These personas are interesting. Haven't seen these yet. And some reprints here to make sure that you have the cards that you need to play the S.H.I.E.L.D. aspect. This is a cool one. So looking into the villains, I don't want to give too many spoilers away here for the campaign or anything like that. But let's just get you a look at the villains that are coming in this box. So the first scenario is going to be Black Widow. I assume this is Yelena Belova. It doesn't say that, but I did play through this scenario. It's really interesting. She doesn't have a ton of health, but because she triggers preparation cards, just like the hero form of Black Widow, she can have some pretty nasty effects when you attack her. So she can attack back. But her threat fills up really quickly, and so she can be challenging in a lot of different ways. So that was a really interesting scenario. Batroc is not a character I am familiar with, and I haven't played this scenario yet. But just giving you an idea, we're seeing a lot of agents from AIM, which is cool and thematic. I do know AIM, but I just don't know Batroc. And then we're getting into MODOK. And MODOK we actually already had as an encounter set from the original box, and it was really difficult. So it's kind of fun to get him again as an actual scenario villain. Then we'll be fighting against the Thunderbolts, who we will be getting a movie for soon. And then our final boss, Baron Zemo. Some interesting cards in here. I'm not going to go through everything. I don't want to dive into the cards from the S.H.I.E.L.D. pack because I don't want to do any spoilers, but you've got some campaign cards here at the back as well. So should you pick this one up? Absolutely. If you like the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., if you like Marvel Champions, it could be one to grab.